Now, continuing our look back at last week in the world of darts and to the Euro Tour, the European Darts Grand Prix, and it is time for everyone's favourite segment of the show, the Rob Cross Appreciation Minute. Rob Cross ending his long wait for a first European Tour title on Sunday, beating Luke Humphries 8-6 in that winner-takes-all for the England World Cup spot final. What could this win do for Rob's season?
Well, we talked a little bit about Rob Cross recently because, just the week before he won his first Players' Championship event of the season. And actually, we can go a step further. He won his first board in a Players' Championship event of the season, went on to win the title from there. The following day, he won his board again, but he didn't go any further. He lost in the last 16, a terrible performance, averaging 111 in a defeat to Chris Dobie. But I mentioned, Gurren Price is in a very long purple patch. Rob Cross seems to be in, can't call it a long one. It's only been going on for 9 days now, but certainly in his best form of the season. And before that, we talked about it. He had made a Euro Tour final, but he didn't seem himself. Something seemed a little bit off. And maybe taking off the Premier League to focus on the other events just led to him not having the focus that he needed. I don't know. Only he knows. But right as the Premier League season came to an end, or was coming to an end, Rob Cross showed up, and he showed up in a big way. The Players' Championships, he's still 23rd in the averages, but that's certainly going up. He's averaged over 100 in 5 of his last 11 matches in Players' Championship events. He's now won a Euro Tour event, his first one ever, and to do it under the pressure that he did. I'm sure all of our listeners know, but we have to mention it. That was a winner-take-all for a spot in the World Cup squad for England. If he lost the finals, then that would have meant Luke Humphries would have caught him by 500 pounds. One first-round win in a Players' Championship event would have been the difference. If he had managed to beat Ross Montgomery on the 19th of March, then it wouldn't have been up for grabs. But that's how close it would have been. And that was a lot of pressure to play for. And he took the lead fairly early on. Luke came back at him. Luke averaged 104 in that match. Luke statistically was the better player, but Rob Cross barely gave him a look on his throw. He got broken after the early break. After he broke Luke early on, Luke broke him back. But after that, he really didn't give Luke Humphries much of a chance on his throw, and he held serve throughout the match under all that pressure, with the fact that he had lost 7 Euro Tours. We've been saying for some time that he was going to win one of these, and by some time I mean since maybe our 14th episode, when he had already won 2 Players' Championship events in his first season. And he went on to make a final in the Euro Tour, went on to make the European Championship finals that year. And we thought, okay, he's won Players' Championships, he won the world title. The Euro Tour is certainly going to come soon. Well, it didn't. It took a lot of time. It finally has now happened. What does it do for his season? I don't think much. I think Rob Cross knows where his game is. I think Rob Cross knows that he still has it, and he is still one of the players to beat. And part of taking off the Premier League was to make sure that he remained one of those players, to make sure that he defended as much money as he could so that he would stay in the top 10, so that he would stay in the Pro Tour seedings. Winning a Euro Tour, £30,000, that goes a long way to making sure you stay in the Euro Tour seedings. And does a lot towards making sure that you stay in the top 16 as well. It's going to make sure that he's in all those televised events, and he's going to be in as a seed for the World Championships, but for the World Match Play and probably the World Grand Prix as a result as well. And it takes some of that pressure off in the back end of the year to make sure that he keeps himself in that position for 2024. I don't think it does anything specific for his season other than it confirms that he made the right choice skipping the Premier League, or at least calling himself out because of contention, because his goal has always been to win another world title and to win as many of the other ranking majors along the way. The ranking events are Rob Cross's bread and butter, and they're what he wants to be his best for. And, well, it showed that maybe he's made the right choice.
Yeah, it's always good to get a Rob Cross Appreciation Minute on the show. And just want to point out as well, the last 2 winners of these European Tour events, we had Peter Wright a couple of weeks ago, and he said after he won the title, I'm an old guy just enjoying darts. As long as I enjoy darts, that's the main thing. Fast forward 2 weeks to Rob Cross's title. And he said, anyone would think I'm on a roll. I'm the happiest I've been in my life for a while. I'm enjoying my darts now. So these are two former world champions that are following our advice on the show, which is to enjoy the darts, and look where it's taken them. They're winning titles on the European tour. But no, it was good to see Rob get that monkey off his back, as he called it. He'd been in 7 previous Euro Tour finals, lost all 7 of them, and at the 8th attempt he wins it. And you've got to say this final had the most riding on it, because there was that spot in the England World Cup team alongside the world number 1 Michael Smith, and whoever would have got that spot, they're going to be going into that event thinking, well, I've got the world champion by my side. We've got a real good shot of winning this thing. So there was a lot up for grabs for both the players, and it's a race that we've been talking about for the last couple of months, especially with Luke making all those Euro Tour finals. He's been in 4 now this year, and with the added prize money to the Euro Tour this year, the difference between winning and losing that one game in the final, £18,000 in the end, made all the difference, because, as we said, if Luke would have won the final, he'd have got that debut in the England team this year. But Rob won it, ended that curse on the Euro Tour, wins the title, and he's going to be with Michael Smith in a couple of weeks' time. And I'll come on to Rob in a moment, but I just wanted to give a mention to Luke Humphries as well, because I think he should get a lot of credit for the run that he put together at the weekend. And he spoke after losing the final about how devastated he was to miss out on the World Cup. And he said that no one in the backroom wanted to play for England as much as he did. And that tells you how much qualifying for that tournament meant to him. So with that on the line, and he knew that going into the weekend he had to win the title, to put a run of performances and results together like he did, the win against Chris Dobey, where he survived that wobble at the end after missing those match starts. Dobey himself had a chance to win it. But after that, the final day, beating Raymond van Barneveld fairly comfortably, 6-2, and then a cracker of a game with Gian van Veen, who averaged 106 himself, but Luke 109 average to win that 1-6-4, then beating one of the best players we've seen on the Euro Tour this year, Damon Heta, 7-5 in the semi-finals, and then in the final finishes with a 104 average, and again, one of the highest losing averages I think we've seen in a Euro Tour final. There's not much more he could have done. So, yeah, I think he deserves a shout-out. But back to Rob Cross, the appreciation minute, grinded out a few results over the weekend when he wasn't at his best, but when it come down to it, the final, 7-6 up, he's just seen Luke miss that bullseye for a 1-6-7 to break, and in that decider he would have had the darts, but he gets a chance, 72 finish, 1 dart at double 18. If he misses, he's likely going to go down to that last leg, and he takes it, gets the double 18, and it's not a huge eye-catching finish like the 170s, the 128s that we've spoken about earlier with MVG in the Premier League, but when you're getting that 1 dart at a double and you hit it, they are just as important. So yeah, it's a big win for Rob Cross, not as big as the majors that he's won, the 4-hit wonder, but you look at other players that have won majors and not got off the mark on the Euro Tour, Dimitri van der Berg, Nathan Aspinall, Danny Noppert, these are difficult titles to win. So I think for Rob, it is a monkey off his back. As I said, it's a confidence boosting win, and yeah, we'll see if he can go on and maybe call himself a 5-hit wonder before the end of the year.